Track is ready.
Very good evening to everyone, and a very good Friday night we are having here, and we are back with one of the social races, which is the Trofeo de Misano. So, as the name suggests, we will be driving on the Misano circuit, which is in Italy, and on the Lamborghini Trofeo. Sorry for butchering the name of pronunciation of Lamborghini or Trofeo, but that's how I like to pronounce the name. But today I have a new face in the commentary box with me. I have Sid Kulkarni, who is joining me for the first time in his first ever ACC stream. So hi Kulkarni, how are you doing?
Hi, Bropi. Thank you so much for inviting me over. What a lovely evening and what a lovely race this is.
Yes.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
That's what we all hope. We do have a big attendance that we are expecting to see in today's race, and I have just now joined the server, and I can confirm that there are around 17 drivers. But there is one, surprising thing to see in this session, and that what I am seeing is that it's completely wet. And as far as I have experienced the Lamborghini, I can say that it's not very easy to drive, especially on the curbs and stuff you cannot take, and considering that it's a wet condition, it will make it much more trickier for our drivers to take the curbs and kind of avoid it. Just glancing over the format of the race, I think the race will the format will be much better viewed when I go into the game. So let me just go into the game, make sure the game is being captured. Yep, there's the game. So as we see the format on the top right side, so we have okay, that's gone now. But as just a rough overview, so we will have a 10 minutes practice session, 10 minutes quali session, which our drivers are starting off just now, and then that quali finishing position will decide the grid for the next 20 minute sprint race, and then the finishing position of the first sprint race, the 20-minute race, will decide the starting grid for the third sprint race, which is a 30-minute sprint race. So this is somewhat of a trial race, as well as our coordinators are gathering some more data on what they can do for the next season to make it way more interesting for our viewers, and keep that excitement going on for the entirety of the state. So Sid, what do you think about this race format? What do you have any comments on, considering that even F1 is recently considering, like, from the next week, from the next race, we will be going over to the sprint race format, which our coordinators are trying to replicate. What do you have to say about this format?
First of all, the format, this is very interesting because generally you see quali and then the people who are in the back, they don't have a chance to overtake the leaders, and then they are stuck at the back the entire race. So this is something interesting to look forward to, this format where quali sets the first race grid, and then the first race finishers set the second race grid. So that is very interesting to look forward to, and especially the race in wets, they are always exciting, always fun to watch, and always a lot of things happening at every corner of the track. So that is something, and the track itself is very tricky, it's very technical.
Yep, so as you said, like, the coordinators are trying to get the max out of the, keeping the race exciting, because we all know that definitely there will be pace difference, say, between P2 and P10, who is on the grid, and, as more and more laps keeps on going on, the delta keeps on increasing, and at the end we see a very spread out grid, which kind of slows down all the action on the track, which which to be honest everyone likes to see, be it any game, be it ACC, be it F1, everyone just likes to see two cars go side by side in a corner. So that's what
Yeah.
the aim of the coordinators is to kind of encourage more of the field being much more closer, and then rather than the field being spread out. So yeah,
Yeah.
your point was pretty much correct, but we do have all the Lamborghinis on the track. We can see a big all Lamborghini logo on the left side. Yeah, but we do have only 17 drivers right now. But yeah, coming to I believe that you do own this game. So have you ever driven this car in the game, or you are yet to try this car out?
No, no, no. So, coming from a car lover background, Lamborghini is like always been my favorite car to drive, and no better game than ACC to test the actual car, and how does it actually feel on track. And boy, oh boy, this car is so difficult to drive. I can tell you that, so difficult to drive.
Yeah, for sure. Elaborating on the point, I think a lot of, people when they were small, when they were kids, they had their favorite as Lamborghini or Ferrari, one of them,
Yeah, I was coming to that point.
yeah, one of these. We don't want to create a diversion here. We do like the Ferrari lovers the same way as we like the Lamborghini lovers, but most of the crowd was concentrated in the Lamborghini and Ferrari when they were kids. But yeah, if personally for me also, Lamborghini was one of my favorite cars, especially the Veneno that came out. The design that Veneno was sporting was literally, and also Elemento, if I'm not wrong. So those cars,
Yeah.
the design literally took me over. But yeah, we do have people going out on their laps. We have a couple of people who have completed their laps. Currently, D Singh, who has recently started racing with us in our ACC league, is showing tremendous pace. What's like he is up there in the likes of Ghost, who was dominating our first season, Myth, who is also a pretty quick driver, not racing today, but Prakhar, again our season 2 driver champion for ACC League. So we have another competition for them, and his name is D Singh, and he has currently set the best time of the session with a 1:37.0, and the next one is the Real SD, who is only able to manage a 2.5 second slower time than D Singh. So definitely D Singh showing a very good pace in the beginning of the session itself, and based on what I know about him from one race that I have spectated, if he does not get a network disconnection as what he got in the Jaguar Meister, he is definitely gonna stay there up on the top.
It's very lovely to watch these new faces, every time you see someone new and at a new track, and you see their ability and how fast they take a corner, how fast they exit a corner, and it's always good to see new faces.
Yeah, it's always exciting to welcome new people, to it's also a good spectacle for us to watch, to see
Yeah.
what the new faces can put out, and especially people like D Singh, who really amazed me in the first race that I saw him participate, is just an example of that. We see the black Lamborghini getting blocked by the Lamborghini of G Ghosh. I think he uh, underestimated the pace that he had, and
Ah,
probably went really close. But we do have another white Lamborghini of Joe Hari, also like kind of getting in the way of a couple of drivers and going really wide into the final corner, and has parked to go back to the pits to again try with a low fuel run. But let's just go on board with someone who is starting a lap. Okay, so braking at 50-meter board, we are on board with Aurora, one of the fastest drivers, trying to take as much of the corner as possible. You do have a lot of curb that you can take, but especially turn 1 and turn 2 have the sausage curves on the inside, which can throw your car off. Coming into this corner, off camber, so you have to slow your car down, turn it again, same process. A lot of curb that you can take on the exit and on the entry and on the apex. We do see two cars ahead of him. We don't know who they are. We know now. So ahead of him is Ghost, and ahead of Ghost is Deepak Raj. But I think that he should be able to continue his hot lap, as Deepak Raj seems to be giving way to the cars up ahead. But Again, a wide entry, trying to make the second apex, completely avoiding the first apex for that particular corner. You have a lot of space to drift on the green AstroTurf on the exit there, which he is trying to, use the most of the track. Again, a flat out right-hander on these cars, that particular corner, and then you have to brake for the last third corner if I'm not wrong, and then immediately go back on throttle again, brake, shift down to all the way to first gear for a better exit and a better turn in. Coming through the last corner, you have the sausage curbs on the inside, so my bad, that was the last second, but for the last corner you brake just after the 50-meter board, trying to not drift too wide, and then he will put out a time on the board. Let's see how he performs, and he goes P3 with he's just 1.8 seconds slower than D-Sing. So that's
a very nice lap.
Yes, that's a rough estimation of how you can do on what lines you can take on this track. But yeah, definitely Aurora showing one of the ways. The blue Lamborghini moving out of the way for Aurora, who is on a hot lap since he just came out of the pits. But we'll keep an eye on him later on in the session, and we'll see if he can improve on his time or not.
Lovely liveries to see out there.
Yes, I think that most of the drivers are running the default livery because I did not get time to download their custom liveries. That's my apologies on my side, but I think only the black cars. So I think Gandhi is running a custom livery. I'm not sure who Barau is. This is the first time I'm hearing his name or seeing his name in the leaderboard. Seems like he's on a controller or some shot, because his steering inputs looks, yep. What do you have to say about that input?
Definitely a controller. Yes, interesting to see people playing this game on controller, which is, I mean, on wheel also it's so difficult to go through a corner, but on a controller, oh my god, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, so joining the likes of Ninja Zero, who is also known by Sarthak Ray in our community, in our ACC races. He also is one of the person who drives on a controller. But today we have Barau. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. You can later on let me know what exactly your pronunciation of the name is. But this is the first time I'm seeing your name. But definitely good show by him, and he will definitely improve as the session goes on. But yeah, we do have a couple of more drivers who added in. So we see Masoom and Kapil Bharat, who have also joined into this session. What do you have to say on that? More competition for our boys?
More competition. I mean, D-Sing has to do better now.
For sure. So just running down the grid, we still have D-Sing getting the crown of the of the session with the fastest time of 1:37. Scratch that, he just set the fastest time of a 1:36.7 just now, improved by over 3 or 4 tenths in his last lap, and qualifying is done. We are just waiting for drivers to cross the line. ST will be one of the contenders to improve on his time and maybe challenge D-Sing. Runs a bit wide, hopefully does not invalidate his lap, and he will cross the line. Does not improve on his lap. That's not a good news for him.
So I think the grid is more or less set for first race.
Yeah, it seems like V Sharma is coming across the line, crosses the line, weaving it seems, so probably did not improve, so that's what explains the weaving there. But yeah, we have Shah also crossing the line, did improve and goes P3 with...
That's fantastic.
He's just 2 seconds off D-Sing's time, but still we can clearly see...
Can you hear?
Yes.
Hello
Yeah,
guys.
it's back.
Hello guys, and we are back in super review of the Misano, Trofeo de Misano. We did have a tiny bit of issue with the streamer, but we are now back and running. So hopefully we can bring you all the action back. Just give me a second as we figure out all the settings. Yep. Yes, we can see Shubham Dutt is in the lead, but Suhil Shah is chasing him down right behind him. So it's definitely looking like it's going to be an interesting race. In the meantime, let me get everything sorted, and as we can see, cannot.
I think there has been some incident that happened during the start of the race.
Yep.
On the start, Singh did not get the best of the starts going into turn 1, and because of some minor contact, he did lose a couple of positions. And right now, he is running P4.
Yep. So
on the
something
grid.
very interesting right now is people have opted for a mix of wet and dry tires. So right now, if you look, SD is on the dry tires, and I do not know which tires exactly the others are on. But I think people who are on the wets right now are gaining quite a good advantage.
Seems like it, but if SD is on a dry tire and is struggling, then pretty much behind him, Shohil Shah and Prakhar and Singh all should be on dry tires itself, because they are not able to close the gap to SD.
Yep,
So,
if you have a look at T Barwa, they're quite dropping off quite a bit. Vijin Kapil is, I think, has started from the back but has now made quite a lot of progress. So good performance from him. But if I recall correct, as we see Sparsh Johri like lose it on the penultimate just before the after the penultimate corner and takes out the 50-meter board. A lot of people won't be happy with that, as that is a very crucial brake marker, and he is going into the pits to. One side effect that has occurred is that because our server had a minor configuration issue, all of the drivers have to do one pit stop.
oof. So in a 20-minute race, they have to still do one pit stop.
Yep,
so
yep. But it should not matter. They can enter the pits, make it quick, refuel a very little amount, and go out. So it shouldn't like really matter in the grand scheme of things, as far as the tires are concerned. But as you can see, SD right now leading, and if you have a look, Stinky did a 43.3 last lap, while Shubham did a 43.5. So he is reeling him slowly. With Prakhar and W Singh right now head and toes behind each other.
Masum, can you just check? We are not able to check the stream on Discord. I think you might have to enable virtual camera.
Yep. Yep. Should be fine now.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Yes,
Thank you.
it is fine.
Right.
Yep.
Quite a lot of battles going on right now. I can see Violent Gandhi is very close to Ghosh right now, and he's actually past Ghosh right now as they cross the first sector actually. You can see the positions have interchanged, and Violent Gandhi has now gotten ahead of Ghosh.
It's a brilliant move by him, definitely, and the most improved driver, in my opinion, is Kapil Bharat. Starting from the last of the grid, I think something that you were also planning to do in the session before you were called for streaming duties, emergency streaming duties, correct?
Yep. We can see Aurora has actually gone for a very early box, and he is now in P13. And if I can have a look at his lap times, yep. So he's actually setting really good lap times right now, and he could potentially undercut the leaders right now. So that will be an interesting strategy to watch right now. And given he has all the clean air in the world, anything can happen for the man from Delhi.
Definitely. So, what do you think about the dry tire running people? Will they go into the pits and get a set of wets as the session is progressing?
I think they will continue with the same set of tires. What I think it is, because they don't really gain a lot by changing tires. So it's better to just refuel a tiny amount and go ahead. Because even if you take 30 seconds, you're not going to make up that time.
Yes, definitely. And we just saw a brilliant move done by Kapil Bharat on Dojin. Dojin looked a bit more offset coming out of the corner. And I think he got the move done on Dojin just before the penultimate corner.
Yep, and now Kapil will be trying to take down Barua. If you have a look, Kapil's last time was a 47, while if I can look, Barua's lap time was also in the 47. So actually, Kapil is a second faster than him. So he should be quite quickly closing in on Barua right now.
Yes, and we can see him getting all out of shape in the braking on this car. So you will be someone who has driven these cars. So what do you have to say about these cars? Like, are they easy to drive?
It's easy to drive. It's actually a gentleman's car. Like we have these drivers who are rich and like they are not as skilled as what we call as pro drivers. So what I felt was this car was actually a gentleman's car, where like it is actually a very predictable car, and the steering is also quite slow. So it is a very, I mean, it does slide all the way through a corner, but it is quite an easy car to handle.
Definitely
Yeah,
great.
that's what I noticed about Lamborghini. It slides around the corners a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, we saw even Kapil Virath trying to control the slide when he was braking into one of the corners just a few minutes back. So, yeah, but yeah, up ahead, the battle still seems like it is the same, no change in Delta. People are still trying to follow. It seems like Trucker is falling down the
Oh, as
back a bit.
Stinky goes really wide, and as a result, he loses time to SD. He's not feeling very comfortable following SD right now, but as we see that SD is now coming against some backmarker traffic of the number 88 Lambo driven by Samad Habib. I'm not sure why
Yes.
he's so far back, but he is right now.
Well, SD has to be lucky that Sohail had to be lucky to not lose a position there, because Prakhar was still right there, like just 2 seconds behind. But I think he did not lose a lot of speed into that corner, and that's why he was still able to maintain that position.
Yep, absolutely. As we say that,
Oh, is it a
And
glitch or
no,
it
no,
actually
that
happened?
was a mistake by SD. I think he went a bit more eager on the throttle with his dry tires, and right now his front splitter looks like completely toasted and
yep,
should be a light damage.
yep, we can see that he has scraped the side of his tire, and that's going to be causing him some rear instability. And we can see Stinky is now really getting close on him. We can see, I think SD is struggling in that ever so tiny bit on traction right now. So Stinky is definitely going to be looking very fast for the move. As we can see, Stinky right now flashes lights with hopes. I think he's trying to unsettle SD with those flashing.
He's just asking for a way because because he knows that he has a better car with no damage on his car, so he will definitely be quicker on the corner. So, and corners is a place where you cannot, kind of make a move comfortably, but on the straights,
Yep.
both will be having the same
Among further
pace.
things
So.
behind, we have Devilish Singh at the back, who has now fallen off from Prakhar, and he is now even further behind than he already was. So I guess he's really not enjoying these conditions. Perhaps he's running a very aggressive setup, which is not really suitable. Which is not really suitable for with the setup.
Maybe that's what explains his time in,
Yep.
in quali, where he was able to put such a good time. Now Prakhar has also joined this battle, or is that a backmarker car?
I think
No,
he has joined
this
the. I think Stinky has fallen back, if I'm not wrong. No, that is SD.
no. So basically, Stinky has overtaken. Now it's now Prakhar's time to overtake
Oh, yep.
SD.
You're right. So
So,
he is having significant damage right now. As we say that, now Trucker will try for the dive on the inside of SD. Can he get it done? Yep, he does. SD is really conservative there. Will he try to go around the outside of turn 2? No, there is a bit of contact there. As I think Praga got a tiny bit of slide coming out of the corner, and there was a bit of door-to-door contact. But that is a norm in GT racing.
unless you bang wheels, you are not racing.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, we do have an unfortunate incident of SD, which is causing him to lose a lot of positions, and even D-Singh is looking feisty on him, as Sohail Sai is wanting way from the backmarker car of Habib, if I'm not wrong.
Yep. No, Habib is. I believe that is the number. That's Electric.
Oh, that's electric.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see the You see number 90. You know it's Electric. Yeah, as you see, Prakhar is right now right on the tail of Sohail Shah. He got a little bit of a moment coming out of that exit, and Prakhar will now have the slipstream coming into this corner. I call this corner takes a lot of big balls to get right. You really need to be very aggressive on entry right now, and you can potentially lose the car, and especially also get a track limit warning if you're not careful, as he uses a controlled power slide there to get that extra bit of turn in. Stinky right now, I think he did not expect Pragar to be so close all of a sudden right now. So I think Stinky's feeling that pressure. You can see him make those little tiny errors here and there now.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like right now Stinky is back under pressure from Prakhar, our previous season drivers champion. So yeah, definitely he did not expect Prakhar to have this much pace, but especially after such a big break that Prakhar was on, but he definitely seems to have not lost any pace there.
Ooh, Praga goes really sideways there. I think a bit of dirty air of the car ahead coming into play here. Especially the aero outwash, that is definitely giving him a tiny effect, but he keeps it right behind him. We have 7 minutes to go in the race, and let's not forget, with this such a close gap, how short even a second saved in pit stop can be the decider here.
Yeah, that is very much true.
Oh.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
I have one question. So do these drivers have to complete their pit stop?
Yep, they have to complete, otherwise they will be, I think they will receive a 130-second penalty, which is basically game over for them. But the question, so there are like little things we use to save time in the pit stop. For example, if we manually turn off the car and being aligned in the right pit box, those kind of things can make a big difference here.
So do you think that these people will just do the pit stop for namesake, just go stop and
Yep,
go,
yep.
right? So it will be exciting to watch. Yes,
So it's
it
the
is the
mandatory
mandatory one. So
Ooh,
they have to
as
do.
Stinky gets all slippery there, and Prakhar is ahead. Mr. Consistent as he has always been, but Stinky is now going to try to come back on him. Will he be
With a
able to keep the
much
position? He goes around the outside. There is contact there as that wheel behind completely throws Stinky off.
Yes, he did get a very good exit coming out of the previous corner because of the because of the alternate line that he took, and but then Prakhar was very close to him going
Yep,
on the
yep,
outside,
yep. As we can,
and
let's view that incident again. As Prakhar now tries to, he goes around the outside. Stinky gets out of shape there, taps Prakhar, and he has a complete spin there. And as his car rebounds off Prakhar's body, and unfortunately, very unlucky for Stinky. He just got the slide wrong place at the wrong time. As
and
he
I
just
saw him. And I saw him heading for the pits as well as soon as that incident happened.
Yep.
Will he be ahead of Faizan? Is that Faizan's car in the pit, the white one?
no,
No.
he is not in the
Desync.
pits right now.
Nice.
Yep, that's desync right now.
Yeah, so he did come ahead of Desync, so I think he will not lose
Yep.
a lot of positions in this race, but we see some more sideways action by Dwajin into that corner there.
As we see Aurora now trying to get past Faizan. He will try to get the move done cleanly, and he seems to get the move done before the penultimate corner. I believe that is a penultimate corner. Yep, and it is. Aurora taking a lot of maximum advantage of the track, and he moves into P6. But as I said earlier, his earlier attempt to box very early doesn't seem to have paid off. But among other things, I'm not sure what happened, but Kapil has lost a lot of time right now and is now has actually lost out to Dvajin. So I believe he had a bad pit stop perhaps.
Yeah, I also expect the same because he's the one who. So his pit stop is cleared, and the last time when we had
Yep.
a look at him, he had to still do his pit stop. But yeah, right now only 4 minutes left into this race. Seems like there won't be any more action
Yep.
that we can expect. But let's just see if we can see something else coming up in the closing.
What will be interesting if D-Sync can close upon Sohail Shah right now. Because we know that Sohail must have picked up a little bit of damage there, and we don't know how much that's going to like really play into their it's going to play into his overall performance. But and given how fast he is, I wouldn't be surprised if he closed the gap quite quickly.
Yes, for sure. We'll have to have a look at what happens. But let's see what happens.
Yep.
Right now, it seems like Desing will be the most unhappy person in the bunch.
Yep. But this should be, so we are now at 3:16, so that means there will be 2 laps to go before the race ends. So definitely, like, I don't think I can really see a last minute move happening, but I can see a Varun Sharma who's very close to Piyush Gandhi, who's also known as Violent Gandhi in our server. Will he be able to get the move done? Let's see. The number 69 Lamborghini, will he be able to get past the number 74 Lamborghini? Both of them seem to be quite evenly balanced. I can see a little bit of damage, both of them running the same livery, but I can see a little bit of damage on Varun Sharma right now, which I think is hindering him a bit.
That might be one of the reason why he had to hold back a bit, but the rain seems to be continuing at the same pace, no increment in that. The track condition also seems to look the same. So definitely, what will be the weather for the next race? Do you have any
We
idea on
don't
that?
know.
Or is
It will be set half an hour after this race, so we could have more rain, or we could even potentially have less rain. We are not sure yet, but we will know once the server does transition into the next session. As we can see, Violent Gandhi or Piyush Gandhi doing a good defense, but Varun Sharma gets really good traction out of that corner, but it seems he got a little bit of slide and cuts out his momentum. But now coming into here, will he be able to do a cutback here? Let's see if he can. Nope. But
does
he
not
does
seem
get.
like he's
Yep, he hugs the
he
inside,
spins.
trying. Yep, it's good. I can see that he's going off the normal racing line, trying to hunt for the grip, but he just cannot find a way past the number 74 Lamborghini.
Does not seems like it seems like Gandhi is trying to defend for his life and taking all the correct lines and forcing Varun Sharma to go on alternate lines, which is compromising his entry and
Yep,
exit and corner speed for him.
absolutely.
It looks so weird when we see two cars with the same livery close to each other for some reason.
Yep. So there is actually only one livery available for the Super Trofeo, and I think a good number of people are actually running that. So if you have a look, you can see that there are the set of numbers that are very close to each other. Like you can see 67, 68, 69, 70. So you can see a lot of cars in that range. So that is actually
Yes.
the default number of the car, and when someone enters the server, because that number is already taken. Oh, as Varun Sharma gets really close to the gearbox of Piyush Gandhi.
Seemed as if he got a much better. I'm not sure why he
Oh,
let by.
Yeah, so basically he went on the wet patch on the road and he seems to have lost out there. Quite unfortunate for him. Yep.
So basically, the curb.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Go on, Sid.
yeah, some interesting, nice battles to see, towards the end of the race. Drivers are battling to keep their positions.
Yep, absolutely. I think I can see a battle. Oh, yeah, I can see a battle between Devilish and Shah, and there is a battle between Johri and Deepak right now. I can see that the leader has entered the final lap, and I can see Shubham Das has closed up to Prakhar.
Yes, Prakhar more importantly.
I think what happened was Prakhar thought the race was going to end now, and he must have slowed down to finish the race early. But what I suspect is, it did not actually end early. Like he must have missed it by a second.
That might be one of the reasons. He might have slowed
Yep.
down just to finish the race in the previous lap itself. A cheeky move
Yep.
there, though.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Prakhar does not need to worry about. He knows that he has the outright pace compared to SD, and he will just carry on for another lap. As we see, D Singh, and that's Dwajin who was spun around.
No, that is
Oh no,
that is D Singh who spun around. He tried to send a move around the inside on the inside, but Sticky gave him the space. But I think he ultimately understeered into Sohail and ultimately lost out there. So that means we know who is our top 3 finishers today. We know it's Prakhar, and if SD is planning to send a huge drive into the next very tight corner ahead, I don't think this position is going to change, or unless Prakhar decides to do a bit of early victory celebrations at the last corner.
well, to be honest, we all know that no one can dive bomb from that long. If you are planning to dive bomb from that far off, then we are pretty much missing the corner altogether.
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, we will have Prakhar who is come through the final corner and he's doing his victory speech now itself.
He did not. Oh, he ran out of fuel.
The leader has finished the race.
Did
What?
he?
Yeah, he did. But I don't know what's happening.
I
But
have no clue. He's still on the
so that means
line.
Shubham
He's
Das
still
is
crossing.
P1, Stinky is P2, Prakhar is P3. What just happened?
There might be that his fuel ran out. I'm also not sure about
Yep.
that.
So that means Davrish Singh finished in P4 after that. After that move on Stinky did not go to plan, and we have now Dvajin rounding out. Let's have a look at any battles right now. Okay, people like Deepak have already finished the race, and Aurora is
Yes.
P6, Kapil is P7. Varun Sharma did eventually get past Violent Gandhi, and now,
And I don't see Violent Gandhi behind him, so
yep, hopefully no
maybe
incident happened. But after the race, in the meantime, we can have a look at the replay and figure out what exactly happened. As my mouse does not seem to be
yes.
working. Yep, it is working now. Let's have a look. Varun Sharma, right now you can see he has.
So he is ahead. No, he is still behind him.
Yep.
I think something
Okay.
happened to
Okay.
Violent.
Basically, Violent Gandhi, I believe he had a
Ah,
spin here.
yes. I think this is where he lost his
Yep.
position.
Yep. Yep. That would
Yeah,
explain it.
and because of that only, he was a bit behind him. But that will be our finishing position for the first race. We are done with the first race. We will be moving on to the next one. But
Yep.
I don't see why. Okay,
Yep.
Desing against. Oh, okay, that was the incident which happened. But yeah, running down the grid, we have SD finishing off in P1 after Prakhar supposedly ran out of fuel is what I I think, but I'm not sure. But Sohil Shah in P2, Prakhar in P3,
Yep.
Desing P4, P5 taken by Dwaji in P6, by Aurora P7, by Kapil P8, by Sharma, and P9 by Violent Gandhi. P10 is taken by Barrao. Is that how you pronounce his name?
I think so.
But
I'm
yeah,
not that.
that rounds up our top 10. We do have 19 drivers. So did someone else join in middle?
I think somebody did. My car is F.
Yes, in the second stint you can go if you are
It should be
thinking
fine. It should
something
be
आज
fine.
कुछ तो funny करते हैं.
I'll go with the flow. I mean, let's give our viewers a proper flow. I can see there are 9 of you who have joined in, and we're still. I mean, given
Yes.
the, but it's good to know we have 9 people watching, and I think those 9 people deserve the smoothest experience possible given the issues we have had.
Yes.
Yep.
We do see even Danish car there, and I think he also could not race in the first sprint
Yep.
race, if I'm not
So
wrong.
what I heard was that there was a big incident in the first sprint race, which ultimately cost them a lot of time.
Ah, okay.
Is
That
what I
pretty
think
much.
what happened. Yep.
Can you explain what are we waiting on for? Not sure.
I'm not sure. There is a maximum wait time, which is I think like 5 minutes. So I think that is why there is such a big difference. But it should
Okay.
start. I can't see the wait time on my screen, but it should be going live in a while.
Yes, so we'll wait for it. Meanwhile, Sid Kulkarni will be leaving us. He seems to have some other pressing matters right now. But it was fun commentating with you, Sid Kulkarni. Will look forward for the same in the next week, coming
Yep.
weeks as well.
Same. The honor is mine. Thank you, Propi and Masum, for having me over here.
Yep.
All right, good luck.
As we saw, we were very unprepared for this stream,
Yep.
but you were called in the last moment. But yeah, so we are waiting for that 5 minute countdown. So, do you think the rain is increasing? It seems like it's increasing for me.
It is a bit, but I'm not sure why we're not going to the next session.
Yes, even I'm not sure, and I also think that the drivers are also not going into the next session.
Let me have a look.
I can
me
actually confirm by joining the server myself and looking what is happening.
In the meantime, let me try to get the stream a bit more set up.
Yeah, you can always do that when you are having some free time like this in between the sessions. But all I want to see is a very wet session. The next session to be. It seems like even for my screen it is stuck it is saying the session has. Okay, it is now being forwarded to the next session, I think. Server command has been set to forward to the next session. I'm not sure if it will work or if we have lost the server itself.
Let me try. Actually,
I think
oh,
we have
we
lost
are
the
we
server.
are forwarding right now.
Yeah, I
I did
think.
it did work yesterday. I'm not sure what's happening right now. Oh, I
Oh,
think
yes,
yeah.
there is. They restart. Okay, the administrator just restarted the server. And that's another way to get it done. But yeah, we do have.
Yeah, but the result has been that wait. Now we are in the grid of the qualifying right now. Why did they restart?
Yes, so
30 seconds. 20
so
seconds.
he is
10
putting to
seconds.
next
Then
session.
why did he just restart? I'm confused here.
I think forwarding was not working, so he just decided to restart.
I think so. Let's have.
I can see a lot of drivers questioning what is going on because there is some unclarity in the session. I think the server has given up on us, but yeah, we'll keep you updated if any changes are there. It seems like the administrators are looking into it, the admins are looking into the session and trying to get the same grid that we had after lap 1, after the sprint 1 race finished. So they will be trying to
So
do
let me
it
have a try.
manually because for some reason the session was not forwarding. Not sure why. We have tried again forwarding to the next session, but still seems to not be working. But yeah, the drivers are in the same VC as the admin, so they will be, giving a more clearer picture to our drivers as to what is happening and what is the fix for this. But a couple of drivers already accusing each other for the server gone, obviously in a funny way, not not in a serious way. We do have a couple of drivers who are driving out right now for some reason. I'm not sure why. Um,
Let me have a look as we can.
I think it's been reset to the initial part. So I can see that the full server settings are being shown as it was being shown before when I joined the server. So I think that maybe Race 2 is having some issue. Masum, why don't you figure
Yep.
it out
Yeah,
meanwhile?
I am trying to figure that out. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So,
So
folks, we'll be back. In the meantime, we'll switch over the stream. Give me a second. A second.
yes. That's quickly how quickly we switch it. We have switched the stream and now I am back to streaming. But yeah, as you can see right now the server is stuck. We will get back to you with more updates, but regarding the car and the track and the fun that we got to see, I'm still not sure what happened to Prakhar, to be honest, in the last lap. Whether he actually ran out of fuel or whether it was just small intention for him to give way to the top two so that he can have some battle in the next sprint race, because we all know that if he starts up front and if he gets a good enough start, which we all know that he is the Mr. Consistent in the race, then he will probably not have any more fun battles in the rest of the race, which none of the drivers want. No matter how fast you are or how quick you are, you definitely want to race someone. So that also can be a conspiracy theory, but I am again rebranding my, I'm just clarifying that is just a conspiracy theory. There is no proof that what exactly happened. We'll get to know maybe after the race gets over. We'll drag him in and we'll have a small conversation about the same. But we do see a couple of drivers doing donuts in front of the entire grid. I'm not sure if I should show you this, but I can definitely show you this. Oh, and there are cars hitting each other, which they should not do because they will lose safety rating for the same. A couple of cars just driving in the opposite way and being like, I am out. But yeah, it's a good spectacle to watch. Let's just have a look at a couple of drivers who are trying to drift, do some donuts, which seems to be a bit difficult with these cars. But It seems like the server has again been restarted by the admin. We'll get back with more updates if anything changes. But right now the drivers are waiting for things to be fixed. Just as an update, right now still the
So we are now going to run race one again. Very unfortunate for the issues right now.
uh,
But we are hoping to like get these sorted by the time our final race does roll around.
Yes, so as Masoom said, we are planning to run the race again, the race one again, because there was some issue with the server. So we will see when once our drivers are ready and once the session is ready, we will try, getting back on the race action itself. But it seems like they are still trying to figure it out because again they were trying to forward it, still not working, but let's just hope for the best. We still have Tanish and Masum's car on the grid, so we might see a return of
Ruby, can
Tanish.
you share your what you said, the OBS stream?
Yes, sir. I will do the same, and there you have it. Okay, so we are still stuck and waiting.
No, if you can return to garage, it should work now.
Are you sure? I see a couple of cars leaving. Yeah, so it was again
Yeah,
restarted
got
by
it.
the
Oh, yep,
admin.
yep, yep. Should work now after like we're done with.
So some quick decision done by the coordinators to,
Yeah.
get this session underway as it
It
is.
is it is very difficult because ACC has such a complicated server configuration system.
Yeah, that can
Like
definitely be there.
it's extremely powerful and it takes a lot of time to like figure it out. Especially like this is also an experimental run to figure out how to run this properly.
Yeah, honestly speaking, no matter how complicated it is, unless and until it's does the job and it is better than other servers that we can set up, it's all good. But yeah, especially regarding the server settings, as you were telling, I was just having a look at a piece of code of that server that you put in for weather configurations and stuff. So that itself seemed a bit hectic. I think it uses JSON, if I'm not wrong. JSON format to configure the servers.
Yep, it uses a JSON format.
Yes, so we do have a full wiki page, ACC wiki for the server setting. I was just going through that as well the other day. But yeah, as Masoom said, it's a very complicated job to set it up. Hopefully, we can get something done. If we are not able to get a race 2, at least we can be satisfied by 2 race 1s itself. Anything is fine as long as we see cars going around the track. We see the beautiful Lamborghinis going all around the track. We are all happy, no matter what the case is. But yeah, coming to the weather update, it does not seem like it has poured down really heavily. Yeah, definitely
It does. It will. Yeah. It will probably remain constant, is what I can imagine. That will be the case, is what I predict.
it seems like the same to
Let's
me
have a
as
look.
well. I think right now, yeah, there are a couple of droplets on the windscreen, but it seems like you know the track seems pretty dry. Can you tell me the key for free camera? I forgot. How do you
F7.
F7? Okay.
Arrow keys and mouse.
Arrow keys. Okay, so I was pressing WSAD, but yeah, the track
Yep.
seems still pretty dry from this angle, and there is no wet line being formed. Can you go faster? I don't think so. But yeah, the track still seems pretty dry to me. Yeah, it is wet at a couple of places, but I don't think so it's enough wet to put on wet tires. What do you think about the tires? Have they gone for dries? It seems like they have gone for slicks itself.
Yep, they have, I think.
Is there any way to
It's quite
tell?
hard to differentiate since it has. Not really. I think there's like a strip that from which you can differentiate, but let's see. It's a damp
Um,
track, so it should be wet.
yeah,
if you look at the top right, you can see the track is actually damp. So that is pretty much a direct indication that it should be.
Oh yes, you can tell
It should be
whether
kept
it's
there.
a dry tire or a wet tire by the tread. So you can see that Sohail Shah running here wet tires, and if I just move on to the real SD Scar, his tires did not have any treads. It's a slick tire right there. So it seems like SD and even D-Sync thinks that it's not a wet condition and they are still gonna run. Oh, never mind. I think the rear tire is without any grip for all the cars. Okay, no, the real SD's car is definitely seems to be on slicks, but I think D-Sing has put on wet tires there. Yep, his rear tires have also changed now. So yeah, D-Sing going on with the wets. SD on the dries still. I'm not sure whether he is planning to stick to these slick tires there or not with 41 seconds left before the session starts. But definitely Sohail Shah on the wet tires as we saw the treading on the tire. Yep, there he is with the wet tires. V. Sharma with the wet tires as well. So a lot of drivers on wet tires, to be honest. Only SD, the one to not run wet tires.
20 seconds.
It might be the best decision, or it might be the worst day internet. Yeah, again died.
We'll continue.
Yes.
Can you stop streaming?
Yeah, stop.
Hello, folks. I'll give it a second as we come back into the game.
Green light, green
We
light.
are now
Go, go,
back
go.
in the race, and we can see this time around, the British Singh has maintained his lead. So effectively speaking, and he has pulled out quite a gap. So this time around, I guess he will be sure to not make any mistakes around. Stinky trying to give him chase, but right now, the looks of it, he is right now properly pulling a gap right now. But let's see how long he can sustain it. Perhaps he has gone for the right tire choice this time, which is helping him out. And yep, as you can see, it is getting darker right now. It's 6:47 p.m. It might get a bit more darker as we approach 7 p.m. And you can see Sohail Shah trying to cling on to the white Lambo ahead of him. Varun Sharma right now, this time in P3. Prakar was all the way back in P13, so I believe he had some incident right now, which is why he dropped out quite a bit. Deepak and Habib are going into the pits, so not sure what happened there. Prathamesh Tangeti now trying to stick close to the pack ahead right now of Ghosh, Johri, and as we see SD have an incident right now, and he is now way back. Not sure what happened there. Let's have a look at the replay as to figure out what exactly happened.
I think as what we suspected,
Oh,
the
yep.
slicks are not the way to go in
Yeah,
this weather.
and
we
he got a
yeah.
tap from Faizan, which sent him into
honest-
a spin. Oh my god.
Honestly, I don't feel it was Faizan's fault anywhere. I think SD was on the inside, and with the slick tires, he could not stop his car.
Yep.
So he is still there. He's not able to stop his car. He is coming outside where Faizan is, and Faizan had no way to go.
The gap last lap to, between Sohail Shah and Devlish Singh was 2.5. Now it's 2 seconds. So we do have a battle going on here right now. As we see that Sobak Band Ghost right now on the tail of the Virgin. Will he be able to get the move done?
Seems like the slick tires were not a good choice for the drivers, and the people who are on the slicks are suffering. The likes of the Real SD and Prakar, who both are struggling currently and have fallen back into the back. But coming to this battle, Dwajin is trying to fend off Ghost behind him in the blue Lambo. Let's see how successful he will be in that process. But currently he is able to keep him off, and he is taking the best of lines, trying to block every move that Ghost is putting up for.
Yep, absolutely. And now Dvajin trying to, as you can see, 2 yellow flags here. As you can see, red, yellow. So yeah, Shubham Das and number 9 and Sparaj Johri were yellow flags, so they perhaps had a collision. Let's see if we can catch some of the action right now. That is not the driver in question. Yep.
There
Oh,
he
yep.
is. I think it already happened. Yes, it already happened. Oh, I think there was some collision that happened somewhere. Oh, I'm not sure whether he spun on his own or whether
He got on the curb, understeered, gave a little tap to SD, and on these mid-engine
Ah,
cars, that sliders have taps, and that is game over for you.
so SD won't be happy with that tap.
We have Helium, or also known as Aditya Singh, right now, trying to get ahead of Faizan right now. He got a little bit squirmy on exit, but let's see if we can get the move done going into turn 1.
If I'm not wrong, Helium picked up the game fairly recently, and considering where he is right now, it's really a good show from him. Trying to go on the inside was Faizan there, but Helium just closed the door, and Faizan getting a much better exit and a better line. Oh, and does Faizan just narrowly avoids
Yes,
the spinning car of Helium there. Otherwise, it
that
would
was very close right now. Yeah, this car is very punishing. You need to maintain a very small slip angle, or it will punish you. As we see, I believe it's a car of Electric also get ahead of Acing right now. So Acing, a little bit of mistake, and a mistake again
again
costing
some more.
him multiple positions.
Yeah, he is just making mistakes after mistakes. One more thing, that Faizan was in a T-boned incident with SD. No fault of his own, I believe, but because of that, also Faizan is a bit off pace. But right now, it seems like Dwajin is still fending off Ghost. Ghost seems to not have the pace here on this track with these conditions.
Absolutely. And as we say that, now Dvajin trying to set up, now Dvajin trying to, he's closing in on Aurora ever so slightly, and as Aurora does dive into the pits.
So even in this race, we do have that one mandatory pit stop for the 20-minute race. But yeah, these won't be there for the actual race. Right now, we have D Singh, who is being chased by Shoal Shah as well.
Interesting fact, both their, so Stinky seems to have the more ultimate pace, but among other things, Davlish, their last lap is separated by 7,000.
Oof. So basically, both literally doing the same times right now on the track.
Exactly.
So, one thing I got to know from watching his spar is that he has the pace. D Singh has the pace to be up there. But right now, again, does it seem like Dwajin is trying to challenge Shah?
Yep. He is. That is not Dvajin, I believe. That is actually Ghosh.
Oh, that's
who has been lapped, and we can see that he was Stinky seems to be a bit thrown off from his natural momentum after getting back the back marker, and D Singh is also gaining has gained a little bit this lap. You see the gap.
It seems like Electrip has close to Faizan. We can go on board with him and have a look. P8. That would be.
Oh, as we see.
And they are going side by side. Obviously, Faizan having some damage in the front after he had an unfortunate hit with the real SD, which would, help Electrip get the position on Faizan. Let's see what he can do in the coming up corner. Will he send it down the inside or the outside, or will stick back to Faizan's wing?
Yep.
I think he has fallen back a lot.
No, I think it's right. I'm not sure what's happened right now. Yep, they're right behind each other right now.
Yeah, but still there is around a second gap now, like maybe half a tenth.
It's actually 3/10. Oh, as Electrip goes all sliding out of the last corner.
Yeah, from Electrip's POV also, when we were watching, we could see him really sliding around. The rear wing not at all helping the cause. Cannot see the car at all.
So this car has 19 steps of rear wing, and whether you run 0 or 19, there is actually not much difference.
Okay. But yeah, this is probably one of the cars in which I've seen that the rear wing completely blocks the car behind. We do not have any view of the car behind, but
Yep.
Faizan taking a much tighter line compared to Electrip, and probably that's why he is able to keep ahead of him, considering that he is getting the shortest path on the track and getting those few milliseconds that he needs to stay in front. As we say that he goes really wide on the curb and almost loses his car. Electric with a daredevil move, switching from the outside to the inside and makes the move done on Faizan, I think. And I was wrong. Faizan dives on the inside. Electric had to concede with a switchback line, and Electric is ahead of Faizan, I think. I am still not sure whether he is ahead or not. Nope, that he is not. Faizan again diving on the inside. Electric again thinking of the cutback line, but this time he did not get it. But
He's being too cautious. He's leaving the door open. He needs to be ruthless in these kind of scenarios. As now Shubham does entering the same fray.
Yes. So Shubham does also want some of this switchback action that is going on, but it seems like Electrum is not able to capitalize on the opportunities that were placed in front, and he has run wide and lost a position instead of gaining one on Faizan.
As you can see, Stinky and Davlish have both entered the pit lane.
Copying the pit strategy.
Ooh, and Stinky does jump Davlish Singh in the pits.
Yes, I think that was the strategy that Stinky was looking for, probably pitting at the same time and somehow jumping inside the pits, because that just literally saves him the effort that he has to do to
And
make a move.
we can see Shubham
on
does
track.
also go in for a box, so perhaps he is now planning to undercut both Electrip and Faizan.
But the point is, will he go for the slicks or will he stick to the? Will he go for the wets or will he stick?
He won't change tires for sure, because the time loss he can't cover up 30 seconds.
Yeah, so he will just try to somehow survive with that. But right now, going on the inside again, Electric, not the right place.
No, not the right place, especially given it does
Yeah.
lead on to a huge straight.
Yes, so probably he should have conserved the momentum there and tried to get a better exit of the previous corner, so that he could have made a move on this straight, because at this point he should know that Faizan is struggling. He does not have the grip. I have to just stay calm and find a place to get a better exit for a straight, and then just make a move. And then close the door, obviously, on the inside, because till now, whatever we have seen from him, he does make the move, but keeps the door wide open, and then Faizan just goes for the inside.
Yep, now onto the straight. Since Faizan has damage, Electrip should have superior straight line speed. It's just a matter of him being aggressive with his driving right now.
It does not seem like he is taking it too cautiously.
Yep.
One more factor that would come into play is his performance from the first race, where he did not do really well. I think he was pretty much towards the back of the grid, and maybe that's why he's not that confident. He is right now thinking that, I should be happy with whatever I'm getting, and as we say that he is going for the pits,
Yep.
probably trying to undercut Faizan rather than trying to make a move on him.
Absolutely. As we see, D-Sing has lost more time to Stinky, as he's 6 seconds back. So this has potentially gone into the hands of Stinky here.
Yes, so one thing that I've noticed from D-Sing is that he does have the pace, and we see Habib's car going into the grass. I think he went a bit too wide. On the exit, he's backing off on the racing line, narrowly avoiding two cars who were going side by side into the previous corner. That will be Gandhi, and I'm not sure who else. I don't think so. It's Ghost. I think it was a back marker who was trying to unlap himself. Might be a back marker who was trying to unlap himself. I'm not sure whose car it is up ahead. It's a car number 24. Yes, that's a back
That
marker.
is number 24 is Stinky. So
Oh, so is Stinky? Oh yes.
yeah,
My bad.
they have box. Of course,
Yeah.
let's not forget. As Stinky now gets out of Varun Gandhi, so quite easily right now. Good move from him, and as we can see, Davlish would also now be quickly closing on to Stinky. I think their average lap time was 2 seconds faster.
I think one of the reason would be that Stinky was involved in a side-by-side battle with Violent Gandhi in the past couple of corners, and that helped.
No. I was saying the pace of Stinky and Davlish with respect to Violent Gandhi.
Okay, okay, yes,
Yep.
that makes
I'm
sense.
not
Yes.
sure. Yeah, Ghost has entered the pits also, so it'll be interesting to see where he comes out. As far as Jory also goes into the pits. Faizan has stayed out so far, and that means Electrip now has clean air. So it'll be interesting to see where they come out with respect to each other. Aurora in P8, he has been jumped by a couple, and I can see a little bit of damage on his car. So I believe he has had an incident somewhere along the way. As you can see, his
Yeah.
side skirts are quite heavily damaged, so he has definitely had an incident somewhere along the way. Let's see if we can catch it right now. Oh yes, he has had this pit stop. So not sure what happened. So maybe he's in the wrong tire and he has lost out because of that.
Yes, it
Uh,
seems like right now Faizan has also gone into the pits, and will
yeah.
be exciting to watch where he comes out with respect to Electric, because these two folks were fighting it out just before the pits. We see DJ also really close to Ghost. Can we go on board with DJ in P4?
Let's have a
He
look.
seems to be really close to right there Ghost car. It seems like DJ has outright pace compared to Ghost, like a better pace compared to Ghost. What do you
Yep.
think on that?
Hard to say. DJ has put in the hours, and Ghost hasn't been really able to put in the time in the game, which I think has hindered him quite a lot. He's not, and overall everyone has stepped up. Like compared to season one, where Ghost was either Ghost or Couple winning a race, everyone has stepped up now. Like if you compare to season one, ACC, a lot of work has to be done in terms of drivers becoming consistent, like compared to the global field. But we have come a long way from that first season. We do have more people who are challenging the drivers who were previously in the front.
Yes, as we were praising DJ, he just had some
Yep.
incident
Yeah,
going
but
wide
he
on
is
the
a person who has actually improved quite massively in the last couple of years, last couple of
yeah,
months. He's been
yeah,
putting in the
that is.
time, and we are seeing that rewards him. He's right now P4 on track.
Yes, definitely, and he does have the pace as well to compete there. We do have ST right now stuck behind Couple, and we do have another bunch of Chiarora stuck behind Faizan. But surprising to see, Faizan has come out way ahead of Electric after his pit stop. So
Oh,
definitely not the best.
As Aurora has a spin and loses out there.
I think he went too much eager on the throttle and could not control the car. But right now, SD going side by side with Kapil. SD on the outside. Kapil having the inside line and the better line for that corner, and getting a better exit as well. So currently he will stay ahead of SD. Let's see what happens in the corners to come.
Yep. He will want that P6. After the incidents, if he's able to finish P6, I would take it any day.
That is pretty much sure, and that too, couple coming from almost last on the grid
Yep.
to P6, so definitely he will be happy. But it seems like SD is more calm and composed compared to Couple. Like Couple seems to be going a bit more wide, trying to correct his car, but SD seems too smooth, or that might be just the camera angle. I'm not sure about that, but yeah. We might see a move happening here. I think Couple went a bit more wide there. Yes, he did. But SD also got equally good exit, lining up to send it down the inside, but Couple blocking the inside.
Yeah. And as we see, but SD now going onto the onto the main straight, he will get a really good slipstream on Kapil, so potentially a move coming at the end of this corner. But let's not forget, this is a straight, so they could really be hindered here. If he gets this wrong, it's going to be a big incident. So let's hope we can keep it clean. But decides to back out, as we see. Faizan have a move in there, and I think Aurora is also another person who does want to get a move done. But SD goes really wide there.
I think he was trying to inside, but successfully do it. Again, looking for
Dipanshu, I can't hear you.
it seems like Couple has gone a bit more wide, but SD getting a better exit onto the main straight. Still not enough to get the move done on Couple. So
Yep, if you recall,
we'll wait again.
SD does have damage on his car, which is definitely not helping him right now.
Yeah, and it seems like this is forming a train right behind as both go side by side. Couple take. Oh, we see a car of Faizan, if I'm not wrong, losing in the background and spinning out and hitting the barrier on the side. So, yep, that was Faizan's car who lost it coming out of the exit in the previous corner. Aurora also getting all out of shape. Basically, Kapil is trying to make a big train behind him, and Aurora being the opportunistic here is trying to go side by side with SD, a bit of wheel banging, and Aurora had to stay back, trying for a cutback line, did not work out.
Yep. Double String has had an incident as he's now fallen even further back. He's now 10 seconds behind Stinky, so it's like Stinky should get the win quite comfortably here.
We see a lot more pace delta between our top three right now, but right now SD trying to flash and make his way past Kapil, but that's definitely not gonna help him.
Yep, absolutely. Now coming ahead, will he be able to get the move done? Nope, it says back out. Aurora going for a really wide line. The marbles, you have tire marbles over there. You don't want to go there for sure.
All this is throwing off Aurora. Aurora knows that he's quicker than the folks up ahead, but he simply can't do anything.
He's probably waiting for that, that these guys will do a last minute lunge as SD goes on the inside of Kapil, but Kapil has the outside line, will have the better exit, and I think I can see a tournament send coming here.
Yeah, this is the last lap of the race, so whatever they have to do now itself, because this is the last lap, and this is the only opportunity that both SD and Aurora have got to make a move. Aurora trying for a very narrow line, getting on the curb, being a bit unsettled. As SD and Kapil going side by side, 3 cars cannot fit into that corner, so Aurora has to wait patiently, and Kapil goes a bit wide and gives the position to the real SD. Now Aurora trying to capitalize on Kapil being offset because of all this action, but SD went a bit more wide and that unsettled him, and Kapil Bharat coming back at SD with on the long straight and going into the inside again, going really deep. Aurora has the opportunity to overtake both the cars here. He is going right now side by side with the real SD. Going into the next corner, it will be the outside for him, but he will look for the cutback line, which he is trying to do right now, trying to get the better exit on the real SD, but it seems like he did not get a good enough exit. Still trying to make a move on the outside. SD trying to block the outside with the superior speed there. Right now it seems like he will have to send it down the inside in the next 2 or 3 corners if he really wants to make a move on SD, but Kapil Bharat seems to have fallen down the back. He is no more battling out for this position right now. It's just SD and Aurora coming to the final corner. Will he send it? He cannot send it from that far off, so it will stay as it is. SD getting a bit out of shape from the final corner, but won't be enough to make a move on.
Very exciting race. It kept us on our toes till the very end for sure.
For sure. So we do have the finishers. Sohail Shah finishing first, followed by D Singh, followed by Dwajin in P3. I think P3 was taken by Ghosh, but he has left after finishing the race. So P4 by Dwajin, P5 by Gandhi, P6 by SD. A lot of drivers are leaving the race, so I will have to look at the timing sheets. Yep, there it is. Oh, we do have one car on the grid. Good that they did not hit, but as I was running down, so Sohail Shah, followed by D Singh, followed by Ghosh, followed by Dwajin, followed by Violent Gandhi. That's our top 4 for today's race. That's all we have for today. Are we gonna do some interview or?
I don't think we'll be having. This is again a social event, but
Sure.
do join us back for when our league racing. We know a lot of things did not go right in today's race. We know that there were a lot of things we could have organized better. But again, this is a trial run for the race format we're going to have for our actual league. Once it starts, there will be 10 rounds. 7 rounds of those will be sprint of the same format. We did have some trouble. We kind of know how to now plan around it. Hopefully next time we are going to have a race with the Porsche Cup, I think at Nürburgring next week. So do join us for that, and hopefully we'll have sorted out all the issues by tomorrow. But next week, of course. Yep. And thank you all for joining. All right.
Thank you all for joining in.
Yep. Signing.